Good evening, and welcome to today's budget hearing for the proposed fiscal year 25-26 city trial budget. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce our interpreter, Mario Barajas, for today's hearing. Mario?
Thank you, Inger. Good afternoon. My name is Mario Barajas. I'm going to be serving along with Elsie Duarte as interpreters, Spanish interpreters for our audience. Now I'll say a brief statement to our Spanish speakers. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Mario Barajas y junto con Elsie Duarte estaremos sirviendo como intérpretes. Solamente queremos repasar que si hay alguien presente en la audiencia el día de hoy, si desean recibir la interpretación hacia el español, pueden acudir hacia la entrada en el vestíbulo para conseguir los auriculares. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Inger.
Thank you, Mario. We do also have council members here to have some opening remarks. Council Member Hodge Washington, and on WebEx, Council Member Stark. I'll start with Councilwoman Hodge Washington if she has any opening remarks.
Yes, thank you so much, City Manager Inger, for the opportunity to give a few comments before we begin today. Good evening to everyone, and thank you for joining us at this important public budget hearing. We appreciate your time and engagement as we discuss the priorities that shape our community. As we know, the budget is more than just numbers on a page. It reflects our collective values, needs, and aspirations. So your voice matters here today in this process. Community input helps us ensure that resources are allocated fairly, efficiently, and in ways that benefit those who live and work here. Tonight, I'm here to listen to your insight, concerns, and ideas and help us guide our decision-making process and to make our budget even more responsive to the needs of our community. I encourage everyone to share your thoughts and engage in the process. Thank you again for being here and for the opportunity to speak and for your commitment to making our community stronger. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Member Stark, do you have some comments for the audience?
Very quickly, and I want to thank everyone that is attending there tonight. Your voice does matter. I've seen in the course of my time on the council how people have come and really helped shape our budget. And I think it's important that we do listen to you tonight, and hopefully we learn a lot because this budget is your budget. So thank you again for allowing me to be there. Even though I'm not there in person, I am online listening. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. The feedback we received today is important as we finalize the proposed trial budget to present to City Council. We want your input to be heard and considered before the budget is approved. The proposed budget will be presented to the City Council on May 6th and voted on May 20th. Information on the proposed budget is available in the tabloid at the main table and is available in English and Spanish. Please visit our website also if you'd like more information at phoenix.gov/budget. If you wish to speak today at the proposed hearing, please fill out the form at the kiosk located in the hallway. Also, there are staff from almost every department here today if there's something that they can specifically help you with after the meeting. Now we're going to play a short video on the proposed trial budget, and then immediately following the video, we'll move on to the speaker's comments. Thank you.
The city of Phoenix thrives because of the services we all rely on, from keeping our neighborhoods safe to offering enriching programs and maintaining vital infrastructure. And like any well-run household, planning for the future starts with the budget. Right now, the city of Phoenix is developing its budget for the fiscal year 2025-2026, a roadmap of how we'll allocate resources to best serve our community. This isn't a process that happens overnight. Throughout the year, city departments work hard to estimate the costs of maintaining the services we currently enjoy. Then in March, the city manager proposes a preliminary budget, a trial budget, that carefully balances estimated resources with projected expenses. This important document is now ready for everyone to look at. Your voice matters. In April, the city actively seeks your input through community budget hearings, by phone, email, and even on social media. This feedback is crucial to ensuring the budget reflects the priorities of our residents and the City Council. Then in May, the City Council will carefully consider all this input before voting on the budget, with legal adoption scheduled in June. Finally, the property tax levy ordinance will be adopted in early July. To understand the budget, it's helpful to know how it's structured. Think of it as three main accounts. The general fund is like our main checking account. It supports many of the core services you see every day: our libraries, parks, senior and youth programs, and critical police and fire services. This fund is made up of revenue from things like general sales tax, property taxes, and a portion of state income, sales, and vehicle taxes, as well as some fines and fees. Then there are enterprise funds. These operate more like businesses, charging those who directly use their services. This includes departments like Water Services, Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, and Solid Waste. Finally, special revenue funds are like accounts with specific instructions. These funds are earmarked for particular purposes, often coming from grants or voter-approved sales taxes dedicated to things like parks and preserves, transportation, and public safety. Now let's talk about the current budget situation. Like many cities, Phoenix is facing some financial headwinds. Over the next few years, we're looking at potential structural deficits, primarily due to actions taken at the state level and rising costs. Recently, the state eliminated the ability for cities to collect residential rental sales tax, and they also lowered the individual income tax rate. These changes mean less ongoing revenue coming into the city. But this is where careful planning and proactive measures come in. Our city staff and leadership have been working diligently to find solutions to ensure we maintain a balanced budget as required by state law, and to ensure the city can continue to deliver to residents existing services without cutting programs or filled jobs to balance the budget. To make sure the budget can stay balanced, offset the losses from state actions to reduce our revenues, provide the necessary resources to protect current programs, and provide the funds necessary for critical adds to the budget, several strategies are included in this trial budget. The City Council voted on March 18th to increase the transaction privilege tax rate from 2.3% to 2.8% effective July 1st, 2025. This will generate revenue to pay for programs and services. Reprioritize the current general fund budget to reduce expenditures without impacting service delivery or filled jobs, and provide capacity to add higher priority items. Set aside projected resources to help balance future budgets and protect against any economic slowdown or further impacts from the state to limit local control and further reduce our revenues. Use excise tax proceeds to finance large public safety capital and infrastructure projects, including 2 new fire stations and additional apparatus. Now let's talk about what this budget means for some key services. For the Phoenix Fire Department, there's a proposal for additional funding to reduce emergency response times. This includes hiring more firefighters to staff existing and new fire stations and new apparatus. Addressing homelessness remains a critical priority. The proposed budget includes revised estimates of $4.5 million in general fund resources for the Office of Homeless Solutions in 2025-26. This funding is needed because some of the federal pandemic-era funding is ending. This money will help continue shelter operations at places like Rio Fresco, the Phoenix Navigation Center, and the Washington Shelter, as well as support heat relief efforts for our unsheltered neighbors. Looking ahead, the budget also proposes a $5.6 million addition to the non-general fund budget for the Water Services Department. This would fund the reopening of the Cave Creek Water Reclamation Plant, allowing the city to expand its capacity for wastewater treatment and water purification, ensuring we can meet future needs. These are thoughtful strategies aimed at addressing the financial challenges while protecting the vital services that make Phoenix a great place to live, work, and visit. Our city employees, from our dedicated first responders to the professionals managing our parks and libraries, are deeply committed to serving this community and always have your best interests at heart. They work hard every day to ensure Phoenix remains a vibrant and thriving city. We understand that discussing budget figures can sometimes feel overwhelming. But know that the City of Phoenix has a long history of responsible budgeting. By engaging in this process together, with your input and the careful work of city professionals, we are confident that we will continue to deliver the essential services you expect and deserve, building a stronger Phoenix for tomorrow.
All right. I'd like to turn the opportunity over to Councilwoman Pastor to have a few comments.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. I'm just here to listen and hear what you are requesting. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you. And now we'll turn to the speakers.
Orla will be first. Next is Timothy.
Good evening. The city's underfunding of Phoenix Fire Department has resulted in the death of yet another citizen. Mr. Wiggins died in a house fire in Arcadia this February. Nearby fire trucks were busy on other calls, resulting in a seriously delayed response by Phoenix Fire due to severe underfunding and lack of resources. It took nearly 18 minutes for firefighters to rescue Mr. Wiggins. His death is a direct result of the city's underfunding our fire department and leaving them in crisis mode for 10 years. Chief Duran and our first responders are not to blame for this. They are doing what they can with the limited resources they have. Letting citizens and firefighters die is criminal negligence on behalf of the city. Taxpayers are currently being billed for the 23 GO bond. Voters passed this bond to fund fire stations and solve the response time crisis, but the city has not even started building these stations yet proposing to solve the fire department crisis with the TPT increase. City leaders need to make necessary cuts elsewhere, divert funds, or do whatever it takes to bring our fire department back up to speed and meeting the national response time standards. The fire stations that we are currently paying for do us no good if they don't even go into service for over 5 years. Fast track these stations the way you fast tracked homeless housing. Don't take money on the backs of firefighters again unless you actually give them the money this time. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Tim Gamage, Executive Vice President of Local 493, the Firefighters Union here in Phoenix. I first like to say thank you to most of our council members for prioritizing the health and safety of the citizens of Phoenix. I'd like to name them by name: Mayor Gallego, Vice Mayor O'Brien, Councilwoman Stark, Councilwoman Pastor, Councilwoman Guardado, Councilman Galindo, Councilwoman Hodge Washington, and Councilman Robinson. This is a big step in getting the citizens of Phoenix the resources they need to have adequate response time, but I believe that we can do more. Ironically enough, I didn't talk to the speaker before me, but I was on that fire. I won't get into the specifics, but if we could have been to any incident sooner, it leads to better outcomes. I believe if we could get another fire truck at Fire Station 3, it would make a significant impact in districts 4, 7, 8, and 5, as well as a truck at Fire Station 17, which would impact 6, 4, and 8. This will lead to greater safety of our citizens as well as our firefighters while they're doing their jobs. This issue that came about that left us short was in large part to the recession, but also due to legislation at our state legislature. I appreciate what most of the council members did in setting politics aside and doing what was right for the citizens of Phoenix. Hopefully you can do a little bit more so we can get those times down to the national standard. Thank you.
Can I ask a question? Sorry.
Yes.
Fire Station 3 and Fire Station 17, they will need to have staff. So is that
Correct.
included in this request?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Next is Shirley, followed by Joseph.
I wasn't prepared to speak to everybody, and I wasn't aware of what was happening with the fire department. I appreciate what you've done and the funding that's there. But one of the things that I've done in my neighborhood and have faced in my neighborhood on a consistent basis is people in our alleys, people destroying homes, people setting fires on a regular basis. And so what I've done is I've gated several alleys, and my goal is to continue that process. I just want to make sure that that program, even though it's not mentioned in this budget that I see at this point, maintains itself in some way. I know that Neighborhood Block Watch, the group that oversees that, took some of the Neighborhood Block Watch money and gave it to that same thing. I would like to see that continue. It is making it safer, especially as an example, one mother came up to me and she says, I don't have to worry about syringes being thrown in my backyard when the police are chasing the drug addicts down through the park. That's just one example. And like I said, fires in the alleys are a big, and I did have a picture that I took today of a homeless encampment in an alley, but I decided you didn't need to see that. Once enough. Okay, thank you very much.
Inger, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Not actually of the speaker, but I do appreciate that she appreciates our Gate Alley program. I believe we don't just take money from our Block Watch money, right? Don't we have money dedicated to the Gated Alley program above and beyond that?
Thank you,
The
Councilwoman Stark, for the
oversight
question.
money? Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
Councilwoman
no, go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilwoman Stark. This is Amber. So that's correct. There is amount of money that's in the general fund, but we're also utilizing the Neighborhood Block Watch program funds as well to ensure that our Neighborhood Services Department can complete the plan for gating all of the alleys. So that will continue. That is their plan. I know they're aggressively working on that. But to answer your question, that is correct.
Yes, that's what I thought. I just thought we should probably let the audience know that. Thank you.
Next is Joseph, followed by Maxwell.
Hello, I'm Joseph Doran. I'm here with for VFW Post 720 in Phoenix. We've been a part of the Phoenix community since 1921, continuously serving the veterans and our families in the communities of Phoenix, Arizona. Currently, there's nothing specifically earmarked for any veteran services in the city of Phoenix. I'm asking for the city of Phoenix to change that. We represent over 7% of the population of the city of Phoenix, and that's not including our wives and our children. So I'm asking the city of Phoenix to give us money so that we can provide a veteran service officer for our veterans, 6 of them in total, with a budget of $350,000 every year. This will allow us to help our veterans not only get the benefits they've earned, but deserve. There's a severe lack in funding for our veterans going on right now, and we're asking the city to step up and help us out.
Thank you.
Maxwell is next, followed by John.
Hello, council members. My name is Maxwell Yulin. I live in District 3, am an attorney in my day job for Unite Here Local 11. In my personal capacity, I also happen to be a volunteer board member for the city's Contract Workers Heat Safety Board, which advises city staff on the implementation of the heat safety ordinance that was passed last year. As an advisory board member, I'm appearing before you today to urge the council to ensure increased funding and resources be dedicated to ensuring that city contract workers are safe from extreme heat on the job. Phoenix is widely considered the hottest major city in America. Last year, our city experienced a record-breaking 143 days of over 100-degree heat, with over 600 heat-related deaths. And as our climate continues to warm, extreme heat risk will only grow, particularly for the outdoor workers who will continue to make our city function. Last year's heat ordinance marked an important first step in tackling these challenges, but as a public safety issue, city officials must dedicate more resources to ensure actual compliance with the ordinance by the over 900 city contractors estimated to be covered by the law. Funding for worker heat protections and for other heat mitigation measures is essential for Phoenix to be prepared for our climate future and keep all of our workers and residents safe. Thank you.
Our final speaker is John.
Good evening. My name is John Walker. I'm board member and founding board member for the Phoenix Spokespeople, a cycling advocacy group. I want to first off thank the city and the Streets Transportation Department for all the work that they've done, especially on 3rd Street and 3rd Avenue, constructing physically separated bike lanes. That's been really remarkable, and that's really what we're asking for to have more of. What I have noticed on 3rd Street, since I ride on it every day, is it's really become activated for non-motorized or non-vehicular transport. I see families, I see kids, people going to work, and it really, as far as I can tell, has not had an effect on car traffic. So I think that's really encouraging, makes me feel safe. I would really appreciate if for all the arterial streets, you know, we have many of them, 7th Street, Thomas, for each arterial street, if we can have a corresponding protected bike lane to allow people to get around in other than motorized vehicles. I think that would be really terrific, and I really appreciate all that the city has done. Another thing I want to focus on too is the cyclist connection to South Phoenix, specifically over 3rd Street with the bridge over the Rio Salado. And I know with federal funding cuts, I'm not sure how that's going to get affected, but I really would like the city to continue to prioritize that project. So I really appreciate everything the city has done, and those are all my comments. Thank you.
All right, those are all the comments. So I'd like to invite Councilwoman Stark to maybe have a few comments to end, and then we'll come to the folks that are in the dais here.
Well, I want to thank everyone for taking the time to come down and speak to us. A lot of the issues I understand are near and dear to you, and we'll certainly keep all your comments in mind as we go through this process. Again, hearing from our residents is one of the most important things that we do, and learn from you. So thank you.
Councilmember Pastor.
Once again, thank you for being here. Obviously, I heard, I think, the 6 concerns, but or wants. What I have to say is this has probably been one of my easiest budget meetings, and I think they're reasonable. So, thank you.
I get to bring up the rear as District 8 all the time, so I'm used to following everyone. I won't belabor the point, but I just want to again say thank you for attending tonight's budget hearings and for sharing your insight. Your input is invaluable in helping us shape a budget that truly reflects the needs of our community. We appreciate your time, your engagement, and your commitment to making a difference. You guys are the first on the budget hearing show, so thank you for taking the time again for coming out, and thank you for staff for presenting this and making sure our community members feel engaged and heard.
Thank you. So that concludes the budget hearing for today. There will be several more hearings, and these are also available to be watched after the fact as well. I also want to echo the council and say thank you to the staff for being here tonight, and that concludes the meeting.
District 4 tomorrow.